And welcome to the Flute Talk podcast, where we talk about all things flute live here on Patreon. What is Patreon? Patreon is a place for fans like you to come and support creators like us. For as little as $2 a month, you can join in on this live show once a month. Plus, we'll send you the popular 5-minute warm-up for flutists in a hurry as a gift for being so awesome. Plus, we'll give a shout out to all of our patrons in our podcast. This plus many more perks and tiers await you. So why not join us over on Patreon and help us continue to make great content? The Flute Talk podcast is also brought to you by the Flute Center of New York. The Flute Center of New York has the world's largest selection of flutes. If you need to buy a flute or piccolo, the Flute Center of New York has you covered. With our code TFC at checkout, you can try up to 3 to 4 flutes for up to 10 days, have an extended 18-month warranty, and free shipping worldwide. So be sure to go to the website flutes4sale.com. So that's flute4sale.com. Flutesforsale.com. Just be sure to use that code TFC for all those perks, and a little bit of that does go our way. Another sponsor is, well, ourselves. We have a store. If you haven't noticed yet, we have a store over at store.theflutechannel.com. We have some shirts and posters and things like that over at Teespring. So you can definitely go there and get some merch, posters, whatever you'd like that we have. It will be there. You probably notice it under our videos. If you're interested, be sure to go to store.theflutechannel.com. That helps us out immensely. So yeah, on with the show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Flute Talk podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Amélie.
How's it going, Emily?
Very good. How are you?
I'm good. So yeah, this is the podcast where we talk to our friends live on Patreon and also answer the questions throughout the month. They've left questions inside the Patreon forum or the Patreon page. Like you said, like you heard previously, you can join us on patreon.com/theflutechannel for as little as $2 a month or $1, whatever you want, and that can help us produce more content and answer your questions directly more. We kind of just like it to have a centralized place. We try to answer questions on YouTube too, but it's just a bit overwhelming sometimes. So we made this place for that. So today we're going to talk about sheet music and like etudes and stuff like that, because one of our patrons at Patreon, Avia Brown, left a question saying, I'm in the market for new practice music, but I am struggling to find fun etudes. I know that this may be a subjective topic. What's your go-to for fun practice music?
Okay.
Yeah.
So etudes. Well, I like the Cavalli books. Mm-hmm. They're nice. Most of them are pretty nice. And the ones you don't like, you can skip, because there's a lot in there.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cavalli's not the author. He's like the arranger. He revised them, I think.
Yeah, he
brought a bunch together.
He made the compilation.
Yeah. Like the top hits. Like
he picked them and just made a book out of them. Yeah. He picked his favorites. But I think they're good. Like if you want something different, there's also some editors have taken back pieces and made them for flute studies, and I think there's a couple of different versions of that.
Yeah, I think
and I have a student who has a book like that. And it's cool. It's fun. It's real music,
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have the piazzolla studies that are different, but they're more like real pieces. You can play that in a concert as well. It's not just like something you're gonna learn one a week, and you can really. It's almost a showpiece.
Yeah, they're definitely showpieces for sure.
It's more like the Paganini Caprice, but you can also play those. Like the Paganini Caprice can be played on the flute. It's been transcribed, and also the Böhm Caprice. Mm-hmm. They're nice too, but they're advanced. It all depends. If you want to work on musicality, there's this book by Moïse. Wait, I have it here.
I wouldn't show it.
I just have to.
But what's it called? Oh, we can talk about it though. We can show because But yeah, really Cavalli books. Just to say quickly, is that those Cavalli books? There's 3 or 4 books of those, and they're like basically he's brought the hits. It's like those books you see in the music store, top 100 flute classical things. These are actually just like really that, but more technical and more like etude like to study with and such. So. Maybe you can just discuss it because we can't show the pages online. But yeah.
So the Cavalli books are called Melodious Studies, Melodious and Progressive Studies, and there's 3 books. And also the Moïse book I was talking about, what is it called? I don't know where I put it. Maybe I gave it to a student, they didn't bring it back. It's melodic studies. It's mostly opera areas, and it's to develop musicality.
Okay. Yeah, tone development through interpretation or whatever. Yeah,
tone development through interpretation. They can be used as studies. Mm-hmm. They're pretty easy. It's not for technique. It's really for phrasing and musicality. But that can be, if you're coming back to the flute and you want to get back into it and play nice melodies, that can be something cool.
Yeah, those seem to be pretty interesting melodies, and like some of them are directly from opera and stuff. So, you know, opera, you have to keep people's attentions span when you sing and stuff. There's a lot of popular melodies all the time, right? It's very engaging.
Yep.
Stuff.
They're nice melodies, so that's a good way to go back to it. Mm-hmm. And also, once I used is it what's his name? There's a book. It's like it's not a study book. It's really like a method, but it's all jazz, flute, and like if you want another style, you know, you could even get a fake book and just play the melodies in there. If you're going back to the flute and just want to have fun and you like jazz melodies, you can play them, you know?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, like, like the real book and fake book.
Fake book or...
But you can do those things. There's a lot of stuff out there. Some free options are like flutetunes.com. FluteTunes has a top 100 list, so usually those things are arranged pretty easily. Like I would say like the range is between beginner to intermediate or a little bit of advanced. There's not much advanced stuff on there.
There's a lot of studies. There's
studies and pieces. Like there's a...
Garibaldi, if you're looking for not too advanced, and like Garibaldi studies usually sound pretty good. Köhler as well. Anderson, it's more advanced, but they're good to work on.
Yeah, and also like if you're trying to dive deep into other free options that FluteTunes doesn't have, you can go to imslp.com or .org, and they have a lot of stuff, but it's very like dense. It's very hard to, like, for some people they find it a bit intense to try to search through there and find stuff. I know, like, I'm the one that searches through there because it's quite Wikipedia like, but maybe a bit more harder to navigate. But it's a really great resource because it knows where things are in the public domain and not, and stuff like that. So other pieces just came to mind where like you can find Telemon Fantasias. Those are pretty cool to play. Those are fun to come back to a lot. Like pieces to come back to. I know that like I usually like going back to some etudes like through the Cavalli book, or finding just a bunch of etudes. There's so many out there.
Baroque music is very fun, and those fantasies are beautiful.
Yeah,
and they're usually in 4 movements. You have different 3 or 4, like you have different
that's right,
styles in it, and
so there's a lot to that. Like you'll never run out of etudes, but the problem is that there's so many etudes, and people, I guess, are overwhelmed by what to pick, just to pick one thing, so they see so much. I remember I used to have a big binder of all the Anderson etudes on printed paper, bounded, and it was about that thick. It was all the etudes he had. He wrote so many, and a lot of them are also, when you go through them, they're even kind of like, you saw how he wrote. He repeated things again just to save time. He just changed little things because they're just meant to kind of like, etudes, I guess, like from how I see it, is really just, it tackles one element or two in that one thing, and then you really just emphasize on that and kind of like not regard the others too much, but it's really a focus on like phrasing or articulation or
sometimes scales and thirds.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot to that.
Or it's pedagogical.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like you do your scales, arpeggios, all those things. You learn the basic vocabulary, and then you put it in a study where it's kind of more musical, but it's not a piece yet, know?
Exactly.
And then you add that with the whole music.
Yeah. That's exactly it. So those are like fun things. Like fun pieces. We're kind of going through that right now, trying to pick pieces to do for music videos. And, there's a lot of fun pieces out there, and there's a lot of like not fun, like more pedagogical pieces, and like, there's like the swan, there's syrinx, there's all types of pieces out there that are arranged and also are originally written for the flute that you can try. Doesn't hurt to.
You don't have to play only stuff that's been written originally for the flute.
That too. Try to find an arrangement if you can, or arrange it yourself, or
play what you like.
Yeah, play what you like.
And like in music therapy, they say that if you want to get the benefits from the music, you have to listen to music that you like.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they do studies, they notice that it's not the style. It's really the style that the person likes. You can't say classical music is better for everyone, because if someone doesn't like it, maybe it's another type of music that will be better for them.
Yeah.
I still think we can like any type of music. It's just it depends on, because it's too vast. You can't judge a music just by its style. Is it classical or contemporary, or rock or jazz? Like, because it's about the piece itself. I wouldn't judge music like that, by category. But so be open, because you want to have fun.
Yeah, what's great with like a lot of the people, I get some comments and people were asking, should I start on a flute, or should I start on bansuri, or should I start on a recorder? I'm like, start on whatever you think you like. We're just we're a flute channel, but I mean, like, you're not going to get restricted in any way. Like, you can learn the other instruments later on too. Just pick one and learn it for now, and then learn another one next time. But I mean, like, there's, like you just said, there's no boundaries for that. So that's quite
no, because I think the brain doesn't know what style of music is being played. Like when you're in a MRI and they look at your brain listening to music, they don't see a difference between styles of music. If you're listening to country music or classical or jazz, or what they see is a difference in interest, if the music is engaging or not.
That's
so if it's too like you don't have any surprise, you know what's coming all the time, you're going to get disengaged. Or if it's too many surprises all the time, then your brain is going to stop being interested.
Yes, that's interesting. Yeah, it depends on your level too, so don't get, I know on Cheap Music Plus or any of those websites, trying to find music that's in your age group, or in your, not age group, but your skill group. Yeah. Beginner, intermediate. Sometimes they bunch a bunch of them together, and then you realize, like, oh, this is not what you buy it, and or you find it and you realize it's not to your level, and then you get discouraged or whatever. I would say, again, look back into those libraries of music and find something even really easy, like, so that you play it, get back into it, because if you're coming back, or say you're looking for things, start a little bit underneath your ability. That way you can really kind of work towards that, because you don't know, like, especially if you spend money on something and you realize, oh, you spent $20,
but you might get to the level.
You will eventually get to it, but I meant initial points to start to.
I think it's also easier sometimes to get a couple of lessons, even if you don't want to have a lesson every week.
Very good point.
Maybe get a couple of lessons so that someone can give you a program, like when you go in a gym, and you don't have to take lessons every week, like you can, it's very good, but you can also decide to be more like you get in a gym, and like a gym membership, and they give you a program to go and do, like, so you can get a couple of lessons, and the person can say, oh, you should play this and that, and you should practice those scales, and can make you a program, and then maybe you work on that for a while, and then you take another lesson. And because it's tough to find the path by yourself, but if you have someone that already knows the path, they can just make it kind of show you the way, like, practice this and you'll get there. When you don't know, you can, it's like looking, because you don't know your level, and you don't know the level of that piece. Like, you don't, if you don't have enough information to make a choice, it can be a bit difficult, and it can be discouraging. And then you can end up spending more time trying to figure out what you're going to practice and actually practicing. You know, oh, maybe I could do this or that. And then an hour later, you didn't touch your flute yet.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, the investment, like, for how much you're going to probably spend on, like, 2 books or one piece of music, you know, that's 1 hour of lessons with an instructor. So it's like, I like how you said it. It's like about a gym, you know, a gym membership. But I would say it's like, yeah, that you're having an appointment with somebody who's a specialist and who's, you know, going to guide you, you know, even if you take one lesson for 1 hour, that's going to be more guidance than, you know, rummaging through the internet for days and days trying to find information.
Because you can also be clear with the person before you take the lesson, because not everyone does it. I know some people are like, no, I give a lesson a week, meaning it. But some people are more flexible. I know I am. So you just have to say it, though, so that the person knows what you're expecting. But I think that could be a good option that's not too expensive and will help you. And maybe, you know, maybe you do that a few times. I would say maybe not just one, because the person has to figure out your level and might give you some guidance. And if you do it every couple of months, you know, it's still gonna guide you and help you get better.
Yeah, I would say invest in lessons most of the time, because there's really that's a really good point. And just the guidance, it's so we get lots of people who are just like, what do I do? What piece do I start with? Or what type of flute do I need? Or what type of etudes do I need to play? And all these things. I'm like, even with us, we have that information on our channel, but it's like, you have to find it, you know, and really invest into it. So, but having a lesson, you know, spending, you know, whatever, you know, $40 or whatever for an hour, it's, you know, it could be anything. You could find out everything you need if you have an expert who's already studied that pedagogy and you have like direct. Yeah. So.
And who knows the repertoire, who knows and in a couple of minutes, they're gonna know your level.
Oh yeah.
It's very fast for a professional to listen to you and be like, okay, here's what you need to work on. Here's where you are. And then, you know, I would say maybe another lesson to make sure you understood well. Because sometimes you go for a week and then you realize, oh no, it was misunderstood.
Exactly.
And then you can work a couple of, you know, you can make it in different ways. You can have a lesson a month if you want. You can have a couple a year. It depends on your level, on your autonomy, on how much guidance you need, your budget. But I think it's very helpful. Yeah. Because it's tough to guide yourself, you know. It's like if you have a posture problem and you try to deal with it yourself, you can get to a certain level, but with someone who looks at you and knows, and it's going to be so much faster.
Totally. So yeah, that was a great question, Avia. That's really awesome. That's already pretty much our time already, which is really great. But yeah, you can definitely, if you want to ask more questions or if you want to find us over on our Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/theflutechannel and pledge or, you know, each month, you know, up to, you know, $1, $2, whatever you want. And that helps us produce more content. And particularly this month, we'll be making some music videos and stuff, which is really great. So that's because of people like you who are listening in and also on Patreon. So please do consider going there. Also, the next podcast we'll be doing is actually going to be in Nashville, because that's we will be in a PodX for the PodX, yeah, which is a podcast convention. So we'll be there for about 3 or 4 days from May 31st to June 2nd. So if you're going to be in the area, we'll be actually doing our talk on the Saturday. You can go check that out at podx.com. Get a ticket for that day if you want. You can go for 1 day. It's pretty affordable, and then we can meet up. We can also meet up outside of the conference as well. But if you're going to be in the area, if you're going to be in the area, please email us at info@theflutechannel.com or DM us on Twitter or on Instagram and let us know if you're going to be coming in. That way we can organize something all together, because I know there's some people in that area, and that'll be really awesome for that. So that's where our next Flute Talk podcast will be. We'll be doing it somewhere. I'll figure out how we're going to do it, but it'll be nice and fun. We'll be meeting some musician friends there. Possibly we'll have a couple. Maybe we'll have a guest artist talking with us. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. It'll be pretty fun.
Okay. Yeah. And if you're in Montreal on May 26th, I will be playing a concerto with an orchestra at Club Soda. So
Yeah, with orchestra. Yeah, the orchestra is Orchestra Vente. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Orchestra 21, and it's the tickets are on sale right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, and they're going pretty quickly. Like last I heard, it's like pretty.
Going well.
It's going well.
That's cool.
It's gonna be pretty cool. There's going to be your flute concerto and also piano concerto, and then also a symphony, like a.
And it's in technology festival.
Yep.
So there's technology involved in the concert, and
which
it's cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole light show. Like there's gonna be a light and projection show.
Yeah.
The conductor is gonna be wearing like this vest that measures his movements and then mimics the movements with color and stuff like that on screen. So it's
kind of
pretty cool.
Paints.
Yeah,
it's kind of
tapestry-ish, like tapestry. Is that the word?
Yeah, I don't know. It's more like it's painting. Yeah. It's painting live with his movements. So it accompanies the music very well.
Right, exactly. Cool. So that's going to be cool. It's May 26th. That's a Sunday. And then shortly after we'll be at Podex, which will be cool. And then if you want to join our newsletter for our festival, our online flute festival, that's going to be in August, you can join our newsletter at flutecon.com. So FLUTECON.com. Where you can, you'll get all the latest information. If you sign up to the newsletter, you guys will definitely be the first people to get any specials or the dates and everything and how we're going to be doing it. So far, we have a pretty big mailing list, so it'd be great to have you on the mailing list too. So if you're listening or watching, definitely go to flutecon.com. Also, again, check our store at, it's right there. There's a new shirt there, That Flutes Life, which is a hat and also a shirt in men's and females, women, whatever you want to say. And we also have cups and stuff like that also as well, which is really awesome. So you can go to store.theflutechannel.com. There you can support us too. We also have a poster of all the flute fingerings that's been very popular. A lot of people have been posting on Instagram and stuff like that, showing them the merch that we give out and the posters and stuff. It's really cool. We have one in black and white, and we also have one in like a very colorful type of thing, which is really, really cool. And then we have also lessons online. If you want to have lessons online with Emily, you can definitely email us at info@theflutechannel.com, or we'll send you our rates, and then you just email us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll see if we can squeeze you in within the studio. And you've had quite a bit of people from all over the place. You've had people from Mexico, from United States, from Germany. No, you've had in places. I don't remember where else, but you've had in a bunch of places, which is really cool.
And here.
And people have come here, which is really great. We got more and more people locally, which is really awesome through the channel.
And also, if you're looking for a flute, you can use our code TFC with the Flute Center of New York. And you can go on their website, flutesforsale.com, which is a number 4, flutes, number 4, sale.com. And TFC, it gives you perks and it helps us out too. So that's great. Thanks for people who are using it, because some people are using it.
Yeah. And also finally, because we recently switched over to Anchor, the Anchor app for our podcasting needs. If you have a voice message or anything like that and you use the Anchor app, or if you want to use the Anchor app, go and download the Anchor app. It's free. And find our podcast on there, and you can actually leave voice messages and stuff like that, and we can play them back on the show, and it's pretty cool. It's very interactive, so we can also, during live shows, play those back. So that'd be pretty cool. So try out the Anchor app. It's really, really cool. It's really intuitive, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, so next time we'll see you guys. We'll see you in Nashville. Yeah, that'll be pretty sweet. So this is, I'm Nick.
And I'm Amélie.
See you guys. Bye.
Thanks.